Hello friends, a pretty common question for a Leh Ladakh bike trip nowadays is, can I do a trip to Ladakh on a 100cc bike or a 150cc bike or even a Scooty or a scooter or any low powered bike? Well, whenever people think about a Ladakh bike trip, mostly they imagine those boys and girls riding on those heavy cruiser bikes like Royal Enfields or Bullets or Avengers, etc. Rarely people think about doing a Ladakh trip on a Scooty or a low powered bike which is like 100cc or 150cc, right? But friends, as not everyone can own a big car or an SUV, similarly not everyone can own a Royal Enfield or other high powered bikes. Sometimes people do not want to ride these heavy motorcycles because they are not comfortable with them at all. Hence, they look out to ride to Ladakh on something which is light and they are comfortable with it in their day-to-day lives. So guys, today in this Express FAQ series on traveling to Ladakh, I am going to talk about some very important tips and tricks for making a trip to Ladakh on a low powered bike which is like 100cc or 150cc or even a Scooty or a scooter. So let's get started. Hello, Namaste and Jule. If you are new to my channel, my name is Dheeraj and I run a travel blog devilonwheels.com. Friends, like I said before, not all of us have the luxury to afford those masculine looking cruiser bikes such as Royal Enfields, Bullets or Avengers. And yes, I know that you can always rent a bike in Leh or Manali and there are numerous rental shops available both in Manali as well as Leh to rent such bikes. However, like I said in my previous videos, sometimes it does not make any sense when you have your own motorcycle and you are much comfortable riding it rather than spending extra money on a rental bike or riding something which is like you are not comfortable with at all. And friends, I'm sure that you will agree when I say that many of us are connected to our machines by heart or by soul. We are familiar with how our machine runs, how it moves, or how it reacts on certain days. Hence, renting a motorcycle in Ladakh or Manali which you are not comfortable or compatible with can be a recipe for a mishap or a misadventure. So does all of it means that it is an end of a Ladakh bike ride dream for you since you do not own or want to rent a high powered bike like Classic or an Electra? Well, the short answer is no. It is not all required to have a powerful bike like Royal Enfield Classic or an Electra for a Ladakh trip. It is always a preferable option but not a mandatory one. You can surely make a trip to Ladakh on a 100cc bike or even a scooty like Activa, Maestro or a Guzzo as well. The perfect examples are the local people who defy all the norms for bigger or higher power travel vehicles like cars or motorcycles. They still commute daily and comfortably on these rough and challenging roads with their own vehicles. So let us look at some of the most important tips for making a bike trip to Ladakh on a 100cc bike or a scooty or any low powered bike. Number 1. Understand and respect the limitations of your 100cc bike or a scooty. Low power means that it is always going to struggle or gasp for more power, especially on high mountain passes where the air is thin. Not a big issue, right? Even our lungs struggle as well. So there will be times when the 100cc bike or a scooty can be painfully slow, but it will surely make it through. Just ride slow and don't exaggerate your engine as it may die over doing something it is not supposed to do. Number 2. Avoid overspeeding or try to catch other bikes. Don't fool yourself to try to catch another high-powered bike zooming past you because a breakdown in the middle of nowhere can surely mean curtails down your entire road trip to Ladakh before you even start to enjoy it. Overspeeding light bikes also does not help in the traction as well. Number 3. Avoid low gear riding for long hours as it will heat up your engine. Overheating your engine is the last thing that you will want on this Ladakh bike trip. In case some stretch is very punishing and the bike needs low gear only, then please take a break every 4 to 5 kilometers or 25 to 30 minutes just to let the engine cool down a bit. You will know that your engine is hot in case the bike is rapidly deaccelerating or it is not accelerating properly at all. Keep in mind that engine heat up issue does not necessarily mean that it is end of your dream trip. You have to make sure that when you notice it, you have to stop for a break and let it cool down. Number 4. Maintain or take care of your bike or scooty before and on the trip. Like I previously talked in one of my video, you should know about the basic maintenance of your bike. Make sure that you keep the air filter or carburetor clean enough, else the dusty roads in Ladakh will choke them. The clogging will not help the situation at all, and your bike will crave for more power or more pull, making it more painfully slow. Keep a tab on the noise coming out of the chain or sprockets. The dust or slush stretches over the bike chain can make them noisy and may cause issues. It is always better, in case you find your bike chain or sprockets are making any noise, you pull on the side and lubricate the chain or sprockets with oil or grease. The lubrication will ensure longevity. Hence, you can see that maintenance is a key aspect of making a successful Ladakh trip on a scooter or a Scooty or a 100cc bike. Number 5. Carry enough spare parts with you to keep you out of trouble. Well, you must always carry enough spare parts of your bike on a trip to Ladakh, because you may find a mechanic over there or someone to help you out, but those folks having a spare part of your bike which is in need may not be a case. Hence, having a spare part handy can keep you out of deep trouble easily. At a bare minimum, you should be carrying a clutch cable, an accelerator cable, couple of headlight bulbs, a spark plug, a brake cable, some adhesives like M-Seal or Fevikwik or Elfie, and coolant and a puncture repair kit. You should definitely check my video on must-have things to carry on a self-drive trip to Ladakh. Most of the things will be applicable for a bike ride as well. If you have not checked it out, you can always check it over here. Tip number 6. Avoid taking shortcuts on mountains, as they can mean catastrophic. Well, shortcuts to mountains can easily become shortcuts to end of life. Well, never ever try to copy someone who is taking a shortcut up there just because he or she did it all right. I may be sounding pessimistic or unadventurous to you, but I consider my life to be very precious than having few extra minutes spent on those beautiful roads of the Himalayas. This is not applicable just for low-powered bikes or scooties, but it is also applicable for any vehicle making a Ladakh road trip. The shortcuts do not follow the laws of physics, and they can easily harm your vehicle badly. It can easily burn the brake pads of your vehicle, and you can end up losing your brakes up there. Also, light bikes or scooty means you can easily topple over descending a high degree gradient. And in case you are ascending, you will be putting too much of load on your engine and may even burn out the clutch plates or overheat the engine eventually. So it is in your best interest to avoid any shortcuts you may find, especially on Manali Leh highway while going to Ladakh. Point number 7. Less power means lighter vehicle, which is an advantage in itself. Ironically, the less power means lighter bike in weight than having those REs or bullets, and hence in comparison they are fairly easy to navigate or ride through those slush stretches or water crossings. Lesser weight will also mean that you can even carry it or push it through those water crossings that you are unable to cross with much ease than having a heavier bike. Point number 8. Travel or ride as light as possible. Traveling light means putting less weight on your bike, and hence engine needs to pull lesser load too. It will give the engine a breathing space as required, and your bike should perform better as compared to when having a heavier luggage. Now point number 9, let me talk about riding with a pillion on a 100cc bike to Ladakh. Well, riding with a pillion to Ladakh on a 100cc bike or a scooty is again possible, but you need to consider riding more lighter and adjusting your pillion weight over it. There will surely be situations where you will have to ask your friend to get down to either push your bike or walk or hike across few hundred meters in some sections. Number 10. Start early in the day so that the water crossings are not swollen when you cross them. This is a very important factor, because starting early in the day means less water in the gushing water crossing, especially over Manali Leh highway. It is always a better idea to face less power in the water streams early in the daytime. In case you encounter a ferocious water crossing and wondering what to do now, well, better wait for some pickup to come or other riders or people who can help you with a push, or even carry it over to the other side. Starting early will also help you get more brakes as well, which can be used to let your engine cool down a bit. Point number 11. When you have a less powered bike or a scooty, then it is always best that you ride solo or maybe with 2 or 3 friends who can stop for you and maintain a pace or rhythm with your speed, which of course will be slower in case they are riding on a high powered bikes. That is why I quoted some friends who can understand it and support you when you are in need. Otherwise, it may become very frustrating for the other bikers for whom you will become the bottleneck. Keep in mind that if you try to push yourself or your bike too much and match their speeds, you may end up causing more hassles or delays for them due to mechanical issues with your bike or scooty. Hence, it is always best to either ride solo on a low powered bike or a scooty or a scooter, or with those folks who are ready to match you or be with you at a slower pace. And now number 12, which is last but not the least, your grit and determination will ensure how you make your bike trip to Ladakh on a 100cc bike or low powered bike or a scooty or a scooter successfully. There will surely be times when you will feel the need of high power, but that is where your willpower to do such a challenging ride comes into play. If you are determined enough, there is no one who can stop you in making a bike trip to Ladakh on a less powered bike or a scooty or even a scooter. Now, let us look at some of the most common or popular questions I have received in the last decade on my travel blog around this topic of Ladakh ride on a low powered bike or a scooter. Number 1, is it possible to travel to Ladakh on TVS Jupiter or TVS Scooty Zest or Honda Activa, which are like 110cc scooties, or bikes like Yamaha FZ, Hero Impulse, which are like 150cc bikes? Well, by now you already know the answer, that you can make a trip to Ladakh on these low powered bikes or scooties. You may also get these low powered bikes or scooties on rent in Leh bike rental shops as well. Number 2, can I do a trip to Nubra Valley or Pangong Tso from Leh on a scooty? Well, you can cover Nubra Valley or Pangong Tso from Leh on a scooty or a low powered bike. However, as mentioned in this video, you will struggle a bit at few places for horsepower or your speed will be slow. But nothing is stopping you for making such a trip. Question number 3, can I ride a scooter on the roads to Leh Ladakh? Well, yes, you can successfully make a trip to Leh Ladakh on a scooter as well. I have friends and have known many members of DOW community itself who have done a Ladakh trip on a scooter. Just follow the tips mentioned in this video and it should all be okay. Question number 4, can I rent a scooty in Leh Ladakh? Well, yes, you should be able to get a rental scooty in Leh Ladakh from bike rental shops in Leh town. The rental cost of scooty in Leh is about Rs 800 per day, which is significantly lower than a high powered bike. And finally, number 5, can I make a trip to Ladakh on a gearless scooter? Well, the short answer is yes. You will feel powerless at some passes, the speed will be slow, but with strong will and determination, you will be able to make a Ladakh trip on it. But the long answer I have already discussed in this video. So friends, this was all about riding to Ladakh on a 100cc bike or a 150cc bike or any low powered bike, scooter, scooty, etc. You can see that it is doable, but you need to take care of some necessary precautions and bingo, you will be able to do such a trip. You will be smiling on the pictures once you are back from Ladakh and cherishing every moment of this arduous journey to Ladakh after that. In my next video, I'll talk about an interesting topic which is frequently asked, that if you can rent a bike in Manali and drop it in Srinagar after doing sightseeing in Ladakh, or even vice versa. So stay tuned my friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Now in the end, if you found this video helpful, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And in case if you need any help or have any questions on your upcoming trip to the Himalayas, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll be more than happy to help you out right away. Till then my friends, Jule, and please keep our Himalayas clean.